In this quick video guide, we're going to see how we can export from Adobe Substance 3D Designer into Blender. Now we have a couple of options, and this is not only going for Blender, but also for other software. We either use an add-on. So in this case, we can search for Substance 3D add-on Blender or something like that. And that's the first choice because it's quicker and you don't have to like recreate the material. But the only drawback is that you need to download, install, and set the add-on, in this case for Blender again. But it's in a similar way you can do it with any software supported by Substance 3D. So whenever you find the add-on, probably it's better to go with the add-on. But here we're going to see both options. The other option is to export the single textures that you created in Designer or any other, Substance software, and then you can import it in Blender. Now, by the way, if you want to use the Substance 3D add-on, make sure you download it, install it, and that it's activated. You can see it right here that I'm using it to make the two examples. And if you want, there is another guide dedicated to the Blender add-on that you can check in the Substance playlist and in the Blender playlist. So in the two courses. Now we're here, you can see in Designer, in a lesson of the course of Substance 3D Designer, we created some materials using the nodes and the node editor in Designer. This is how the application goes and distinguished from the Substance 3D Painter. And this is a complex material, PBR, with the normal map, roughness, and all that stuff. So if you want, you can export all these single textures one by one, or all the group, or the substance material. So first of all, if I want to export like this roughness textures only, I can double click to select and then click on this little button there, and you have other features here, but the one we want is to save. Click on save, select a folder where you want to save it. In my case, I created a designer export folder, and here I can create a new one called designer textures. So everything is nice and organized, and I will give it a name. I'm gonna call this test roughness and export, or well, actually we are saving more than exporting. Now the other way is to go up there on the toolbar, find the little wrench, and go to export outputs. So all the outputs, you can decide if you want to export all the outputs on just a few of those, or only one, and whatever. Same thing goes here. You need to select a folder where you want to export these textures. Then you select it, and that's it. All you need to do now is batch exporting. You have different formats, like also Photoshop, and in this case, I'm going to do JPEG. So I'm going to export. You just need to wait for the process to be finished. Now let's go back in Blender here, and I'm gonna move into the shading interface. Again, if you have issues with Blender or Substance, you'll find other guides and an entire courses dedicated to this software. So I'm gonna go in the shading, and you can see we have also here an editor of materials working with nodes. So I'm just gonna click and drag out from the yellow circle here, and I'm gonna select image texture. I'm gonna open up, navigate into the folder where I just saved or exported the textures from Substance, and just gonna search for the folder here, and there you go. So that's the Designer export. That's the folder where I have been exporting, and in this other one. So there you go. We have all the textures we exported, and also the single one in PNG. So all the others are like in JPEG. So I need the diffuse right now. I need diffuse textures. So I'm gonna select this one here, and there we go. So it's applied. Now we need to work a little bit with the mapping here because it's not showing like similar to Substance Painter, and so we need to basically adjust the scale and the rotation. Now I'm gonna do Control C, Control V to create another texture node, and I'm gonna use this other one for the roughness. So I'm gonna click and drag this inside the roughness, and then click and select. Well, in this case, I want to use the PNG to show you that it's gonna work. Now, again, I need to map this, but if I move around, you can see there is some roughness in some parts and some glossiness in other parts of the material. So it's working properly. And now, well, instead of creating the mapping, you can use Node Wrangler for the mapping. Again, this is explained in another guide, but the quicker way, I think, is to go through another add-on that is already pre-installed inside Blender. It's called Magic UV. So let me make this a little bit bigger because I cannot see properly. So I'm gonna double click here, edit preferences. So this is where we can go and search for the Magic UV add-on. Again, this is also explained in another guide, but I'm gonna go quick here. So all you need to do is go to edit mode, and then we don't need any extra node there. Just go to edit mode, sidebar, edit tab, UV mapping, UVW, and then box mapping, and that's it. Then we expand this little panel here and decide the size and the position, the offset, and so on. So you can move it around in all the phases. So this is the quickest mapping I know of in Blender. And it looks fine, so we're gonna keep it as it is. And we have some seams probably in these textures, but yeah, now it's looking better. Now let's also bring in the normal map. So I'm gonna click and drag outside, I'm gonna use the normal map node, and then again, click outside with this little circle and use an image texture, and then open, and then select the purplish textures in the folder. And now we have all the textures, and the material is starting to look really nice. We can always, of course, fix it and make it better, but that's just a quick show presentation or example to show you how you can use textures inside Blender, but any other render engine or software out there. Now the other option is to go inside the editor here in Substance 3D Designer and just right click and publish this as an Sbsar file, which is kind of the standard native Substance type of file that you can open in any Substance software, but also in all the software where you install the add-on, the Substance add-on. So you can also send it directly to Painter or to Sampler. Here you can send it to Stager. These are all part of the Substance package. So that's really easy. Just click there and it's going to export it to those other software. For any other like third-party software, you need to export the textures, either the texture or the Sbsar file, but you need to have the add-on. In my case, I have the add-on, so I'm going to go here in the add-on tab, and then I'm going to click on load, and then I'm going to navigate again into the folder where I store that. There it is, and it's Sbsar file. Once it's loaded, just you need to click apply, and it's going to apply. I want to make a copy of this cube so we can see better the differences or whatever, which one is working better. So I'm going to expand again, and well, let's go back to the layout, the standard layout. I'm going to move this aside, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V first to copy, and then move aside. And now I'm going to apply the other material to this other cube. So I'm going to select first the object and then apply the material. And there you go. It looks pretty similar and probably is working slightly better than the standard there that we created. But that's it. These are the two options you have for transferring materials textures from Substance 3D Designer into Blender or any other 3D software. And this will be all for this video guide. If you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel to stay updated. Join the channel as a supporter if you want to thank us, if you want to support us. Check out other courses and guides in the channel. See you in the next.